James. You are the master.
Well, I've known Aviva for about 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Met her when I moved to London for 4 years. That was a long time ago. That was a lifetime ago. And I've been following her ever since. And she tells how it's a miracle. She got rid of her migraines, and I have a lot of pain and stuff. So she said, I have to try it. So I tried it. I loved it. And then life got in the way and just kind of, I moved from Florida in the United States to Idaho. I know, big move. And so now I'm on the West Coast. I have a little bit more time, and I'm really excited to start.
Okay. So where about on the West Coast are you?
Idaho.
Are you at Idaho as well? Oh, no, Ohio, Idaho. Okay.
No,
Yeah, sorry.
Ohio.
You'll begin with I. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's good. And what's your aspirations about, the products and the business? Where do you want to take it?
I'm very excited because a lot of people around here obviously are farmers. I really like the tower gardens. I think that's awesome. Of course, all the Juice Plus made a difference in my life, my daughter's life. So it's easier for me to sell it to people. Right now, we're all kind of sitting back at home. And so this is probably a good time to get some things going online.
Yeah, absolutely. So somebody sent me a little clip, and it said, "Where are you going to be next week?" And it said, "Look at this clip," and it was like a crossword puzzle, and the only word that was on it was nowhere. Nobody's going anywhere. So they're all at home, they're all receptive, and that's great. So Cecilia, welcome.
Yes.
Tell us where you were from.
Sorry, I haven't done this before, so I have to. Can you hear me?
Hear you
You
well.
there?
Your audio is
Yeah.
bad.
Speaking. Yeah.
You should be. We can hear you.
You can hear. Okay.
We've lost your video camera.
Audio is
Okay, the audio is okay.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Okay.
I know Patrick, and we know each other for like more than 20 years. And when he started, he wanted me to get started too. It was a good idea with good products and good extra income. And I like to have a lot of things to do, and I need to be better to meet new people and talk to people. So that was a key process for the business.
Okay. And where are you based?
Sorry?
Where do you live? Which part of the country?
Sweden, Örebro. I was from Stockholm, but I moved to Örebro. It's a smaller city.
Okay. Brilliant. All right. Okay, great.
And I got 2 kids. My oldest is 3.5 years, and I started to wanted to have an extra income when I had her, but I had distractions, so it didn't make anything. And now I got this little guy.
Okay.
Congratulations. And now I'm trying again.
Yeah.
Patrick is helping me to get more salesperson. I have difficulty with that.
Okay.
To get people to buy the product and to get contact with new people.
Okay.
I'm kind of shy and I don't know how to start, but we're working on it.
Brilliant. All right, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. And Vera, welcome to the call. Where's your new lady? She's not come on the call?
She's working.
She's working. Oh, working. All right. Okay.
She's working. She's based in Florida, and she's working, so I will send her the recording. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with us today.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. You're looking very twee as well. I'll have you.
Yeah, she's so cute.
Okay, well, welcome to you all. And I think, maybe at this stage, we should maybe hand over to Bob and Sue. And obviously, we're all based here in the UK, or Patrick, I see, you're over at Scandinavia and Sweden, as is Cecilia. But really, the whole idea is to give you some kind of information that you can go and kind of start the process and help yourself. Obviously, you're going to have your upline sponsors, the people that have introduced you to the program, and they're going to be there to help you and to guide you along the way. But what we've also got is amazing mentors with Bob and Sue Burdick, who have been, our Sue and Bob Burdick, who have been in our business for 33 years come this year. And they've got a wealth of experience. And, you know, perhaps you can maybe just share some of the golden nuggets that you would actually give and tell us, you know, how you would get a new distributor started, what the kind of tools that you would point a new distributor towards. Sue, we'll start with you, and maybe you can explain a little bit about your story as well.
Okay.
You're looking fabulous, by the way.
Thank you very much. I've been to the dermatologist, and he had to slice my head from too much fun in the sun in South Florida. I saw someone was there from Florida. Okay. So I dropped out of high school, and so did Bob, and we went to the same high school 4 years apart. He's 4 years older than me. We dropped out of high school, we married young, and we had 6 kids. We had 5 kids in 6.5 years. We had 5 boys. This is 52 years ago, and there was no birth control, and they just kept coming. I never dreamed I'd have 5 boys, especially in 6.5 years. But so Bob was doing carpentry work, and I was raising the children until the youngest one went to school. And then when I got into the job market, I realized that with no education and no skills, I was going to make minimum wage. So I got a little creative, and I sold real estate. I groomed dogs. I did yard work and maid work. I washed windows. I went with him to a construction job for a while. 2 years I worked with him in construction. And I tried Herbalife for a while. And that's where I got my sense of network marketing could be the answer. But it just didn't happen in that company. And so when my friend Dave called me and told me that he was started something new and he was excited about it and wanted to get my opinion on it, of course, when Bob came home, I told him that my friend was going to get my opinion on his new business. And Bob said, that sucker's a salesman and he's going to try to sell us something. And that's his construction attitude. And anyway, I loved the product, but I told him no, thank you to the business. And he kept calling me and inviting me to things. And as we do, he was persistent, and I'm glad of that, because one day I picked up the phone and he and his upline were there, kind of like this, he wanted me to get to know who his upline was. And to me, really, then it didn't make any difference who his upline what it was. I didn't have any sense for the business, but they did promise that if I'd go to one meeting, they'd stop calling me. So I went to the meeting to be polite and to tell them no thank you. I did like the product, but no thank you to the business. But when I saw them draw out the steps and explain how to make money, I got all excited about it, because I could see myself at home with no education for $52 a year, building my own business and bringing in a few friends, getting some customers. And I thought that I could put a game plan together and make $3,000 to $5,000 a month in a couple of years. I thought I could build it to that. I had no idea it was going to go as fast as it did. But so I went home and got Bob. When I told him I was going to the meeting that day, he said, you know, these guys have been trying to talk you into this for a long time. So don't take the checkbook with you just in case they try to get you to sign up for something, even though there was no money in it. But so I really loved it. And as a matter of fact, I stopped at a friend's house and explained it to him and told him I wanted to bring him back to see what it was, because I got the bug for it. For those of you who've been in the business for a while, what I saw was 12 Club. That I thought in my mind, when I saw it, I could accomplish 12 Club. And so I brought Bob back, and he got, his okay. He got all caught up in the numbers too. He went there gung-ho. I'm going to tell these guys to take their opportunity and, take it to the North Pole or whatever. And he got caught up in the numbers, and he agreed that he thought I could do that. And that would be a huge supplement to his income. It would make our lives a lot better if I could do that. So I just did what they said. They told me about the fast track, how you can move from partner to QSC now, qualifying sales coordinator, and do it quickly enough, and you can just skip that step in between. And so they gave me a 60-day game plan, which I did in 30 days. We were supposed to get 20 customers and 1 team member. And in 30 days, I had 22 customers and 3 team members. I was all excited. I was tired of cleaning other people's houses. I was tired of, manual labor. Our oldest was 17, the youngest was 11. And we were ready for high school and cars and college. And it was overwhelming because we were living paycheck to paycheck, worried about our future, and just wondering where the hell the money was going to come from to just stay alive. And so I got it going, and before long I was out earning Bob. And it was amazing. The day he came home and told me that he was going to quit his job, and if we didn't sell this stuff, we weren't going to eat. So we put the pedal to the metal, and both of us went at it full time. And in the first year, we earned enough money to leave South Florida and come back to Georgia, a little tiny town in Georgia here, where we had bought a little farm. We'd put a trailer on it, a mobile home on it, paid it off, borrowed on it, built the house, overextended, lost it, and went back to Florida. So that's when we found this business, and it brought us out of that depression. And now, 33 years into the business, our 5 kids are grown. We have 15 grandchildren. We have 10 great-grandchildren. I was born at home in a house with no plumbing and no electricity in 1950 in Mississippi. And I had never been anywhere. I'd never been out of the South. I went from Mississippi to South Florida to Georgia. And that's where right in the South, had really never been anywhere. It was so exciting to go to England and meet Gordon and James and everybody. But we've now been around the world 9 times. Bob was a merchant marine. I'll let him talk in a minute. He was a merchant marine, and so he had traveled all over the world with the merchant marines, and then he'd been in the Army and traveled more with the Army. So he'd been in more countries than I had been in states, and it's just been amazing. We've been to Israel, to the Holy Land, to Dubai. All that's not as exotic to you as it is to someone in the States, especially someone who'd never been anywhere. And so we've now earned millions of dollars, built a business all over the world, and it's been amazing. And I'm not telling you that everybody's going to become millionaires, but I'm telling you the only difference between the product works for everybody, the marketing plan works for everybody, the company's the same for everybody. The computer doesn't know anything about you except the number and the amount of business you put through there. Doesn't know if you're a man or a woman or what. And so I used those to my advantage, and here we are. And I think that all the tools that you need to do this business are right in that virtual office. And you can go on your virtual office and change countries and see everything that we see. And when you get into the virtual office, there's now a thing called the Freedom Revolution, and you can click on it to get into that. And I love that with the new marketing plan, or the compensation plan, the way they have added more steps that you have in your country. Somebody needs to mute. And so they've broken the compensation plan down into 3 phases. 0 partner to sales coordinator is phase 1. And in that virtual office, they have worksheets, they have videos, they have people sharing their stories, sharing how they did things. And now we've got social media. So it's really, really easier worldwide than it has ever been before. And now you're able to, if it takes 5 people to qualify, right? 5 eggs in bonus to qualify. And you can have 1 in different countries around the world now and do that, which is great.
So Sue, just getting somebody started now, 33 years later, using the Financial Revolution website, getting them started, finding their first customer. Freedom. I keep on saying financial freedom. Yeah. And getting the first customer. Do you still, how do you go about that? You make a list, you can speak to people still?
Yeah. Well, in the Freedom Revolution, there is a little getting started packet. It's about 6 pages, and it shows you how to set when you get your name in the computer, they'll send you an email showing you how to set up your website and how to get into your virtual office. And once you do that, you can get that little starter guide, and it will tell you. There's an outline for your story. I told a little longer version of my story this morning, but what you want to do is get a 30, 60, not more than 90-second introduction story. So you can capture people's attention. So your immediate story is going to capture people's attention, and then you can flesh it out and build a rapport with people. But if you don't capture their attention right away, they'll get bored and walk away if you start sharing a long story. So there's a story outline in that getting started package. So you fill in the outline and flesh it into a paragraph, and then your upline can help you, make it short, make it compelling, make it interesting, and make people want to hear more. So that's what that's about. And then we have all kinds of social media and a lot of different ways to do the product, do the business. But the best way is to make a list of your friends. We call it a memory jogger list. So make a list of friends, family, acquaintances, neighbors, coworkers, people you go to church with, people that you've known all your life. Just put them on a list. And there are people out there looking for a healthy product, and there are people out there looking for a business opportunity. And our job is to find them. So you just share that little 60-second story over and over and over until you find people who say, that sounds great to me, tell me more. And then you get into getting them started, you get them on the product, and it's the same in every country now. I mean, it really always has been, but it's so much more simplified today and so much more to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, and so exciting in terms of where the business has gone, because we're at a time where we'll never have this again, that people are interested in being very healthy, and a lot of them are looking for more money to go along with, what they're doing, because they haven't got any money.
Right. Gordon, you couldn't say it better, timing.
Timing.
Well, Bob, when you and Sue started, it was perfect timing. In 1987, June 7th at 3:37 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, but today, look at this. What's everybody looking for today? How to stay healthy. With this scare going around the world, you couldn't have more people looking for opportunities to stay healthy. Here's a product that's certified and delivered to you. You don't even have to go out in public and risk all that stuff. Okay? And so many people have to stay home. Their jobs, businesses are closed down and all this. This is a home-based business. I mean, I'm sad that this thing's going around the world, but as far as the business goes, take advantage of where you're at. This is where we're at. We have the best product for this time and the best home-based business for this time, and totally unlimited income. And what I think helped Sue and I, because of my construction background, I understood structure from day one. Okay, our second month, we had 5 lines in bonus. By our 4th month, we had 11. Okay, and Gordon can explain that all to you later on. But having structure over time, if Gordon's 5 wide and I'm 3 wide, in 2 months, it don't make a big difference. In 2 years, it does. In 20 years, it makes a fortune difference, okay? Each line makes a huge difference over time. So the thing, when I ask people, what would you do different if you were starting today? Most of my national marketing directors say, I would want even wider, because of the long-term value of structure. And when we started, we only had 5 kids. Now we have 25 total grandchildren. So we need structure.
And when you get into your virtual office, if you move over to what's new and just touch what's new, and all the new information is going to come forth.
Yeah. So Sue, one of the questions that someone had was that this new promotion that was on yesterday and the day before, and the Blitz promotion form and all the rest of it. So some people haven't had their virtual office confirmation yet. How do we go about kind of making sure that comes through and they get included? Is there someone we can contact? Because presumably the home office is now not working from home. It's all gone home.
Well, I think that the 2-day Blitz of waiving the application fee is done with. But the new Blitz is to move from partner to QSC in 30 days and earn $400.
Right.
And bonus on top of what you will earn. And the sponsor earns that, and the new partner earns that as well.
Okay. And roughly how many?
That's what I did when I first, and so sorry to talk over you. So many people do that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people just do that much and skip that and don't even, it wasn't even a hardship.
And how many customers is that roughly?
I'm not sure, but I tell you what, the worksheets will tell you.
Okay.
We don't have it all, I don't have it all put to memory yet.
Yeah, 24 or something like that. Yeah.
It's 24 to qualify your business. Yes.
Yeah. So it's roughly about the same.
24 customers with the trio.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But
Sorry, Bob.
the bonus, I think that, sorry.
No.
Move there. Yeah, I don't want to give you details because I'm not even 100% sure, but it's all in there, exactly how to do it, how to move from step to step with volume and with structure. Whether you need partners, whether you need team members on, or whether you don't. Some of it, you know, is you have to sponsor, bring another team member on to make the promotion.
Okay. Okay. So Bob, any golden nuggets that you would share with everybody here?
Timing right now, I mean, selling the vision. Again, everybody's looking at more now to how to stay healthy than ever before, all right? And a home-based business ever before, a secondary income, if you would, all right? So the amount of effort you put in, let's say between now and September, May, June, July, August, 4 months, you could build a foundation to your business for life. And understand, I don't care who you are, if you're Gordon, Michelle, Bob, Sue, who you are, when you share the business, you get more no's than when you share the product. That's just the way it is. But just a few yeses are worth a bloody fortune, all right? Again, I was a long-haired hippie construction worker when I started.
He's a biker.
I was treasurer of the outlaws, the motorcycle business disguised as a gang. They had a consumable too. But setting a goal, understanding structure, and leading by example. The reason some people don't like network marketing, say, will you do what I won't do to make me rich? They word it differently. Rather than this is what I'm doing, will you do it with me? We can get rich together. Okay, leading by example. Again, we asked, what were the income producing activity? Sharing the product. Are you getting customers, 1 or 2 at least, every month? Are you adding distributors, and are you promoting events? And again, I hate that this disease is going around, but now events are going to be Zoom and from home. So it'd be actually easier, that's the biggest income producer too, to get people on events today than have to drive down to 5th Avenue and 3rd Street and go to that meeting. All right, so I mean, I hate that this is going on, but this is where we're at. Let's take advantage of it. We're going to be doing all Zoom meetings probably the next 6 months or so. Now's the time to do it.
And Gordon, we were taught early on that this is a numbers game. You're not going to talk to 5 people, sign 5 people up, and you know, and build a fortune out of it. You're going to talk to probably several hundred people over the years, and a portion of them will come on. Yeah. And there's like 80% of the people that you talk to will say yes to the product, and later on maybe some of them will come into the business. What we have found is that 1 in 10 of your customers will want to look at the business and become a team member. Okay, so the best rep has been a customer first. Of course, everybody has friends that are always looking for an opportunity that you're going to go to and say, hey, I have a great opportunity. The reason it's such a good opportunity is because it's got this product that's amazing. So you can actually start your conversation with your business story and bring your product story in. And you can share your product story and add the business to it. So that's the value of your story. What people get caught up in is telling their story to the same 5 people over and over and over, or the same 10 people just going back around to them. There's no expectations. You share your story just like you would share a great restaurant. Can't do that today, but if you saw a great movie or you were in a great restaurant and you got good service and you loved the movie, you'd say, hey, I saw this movie the other day. I loved it. I highly recommend it. And the same with the restaurant. Yeah. You do that with no expectations, and you're not going to get paid from the restaurant if somebody you send there, or the movie's not going to pay you if you send somebody to the movie. You're recommending it. So don't have high expectations, because when I first started, my heart was broken by some of my friends who said no, because I just knew everybody was going to see this opportunity and see this product as, the best thing in the world. And they didn't. And I was very surprised by some of my friends. I wanted to say, and I thought you were so intelligent. But you have to just don't expect anything. You know, don't say, well, I'm going to get this one and he's really going to go to work. Just keep sharing your story, and the ones that see it will come with you, and the ones who don't won't. Now, you may go back to them later and say, guess what? I'm here with this thing 6 months. I know I told you about it, but look what's happened. I just had to share with you what's happened to me. And some will listen. So don't mark them off your list. Just put them back at the end of your list, and you come back around to them maybe next year, because a lot of things can happen to people in 6 months or a year. I mean, you can have a baby, you can get married, you can get divorced, you can have an illness, you can, well, what is it Nikki Daigle says, the 3 Ds, divorce, disease, or death? Divorce, disease, and death are the ones that take you out of the game. And you know, a lot of people, when they, we have a girl in our business, she was treated it as a social club. She was in the corporate world, and she got out of the corporate world to do this business, and she was making a couple $1,000s a month, and her husband was in corporate, and she was just riding along, and all of a sudden he came home one day and said, I want a divorce. Well, she certainly wasn't making, you know, $2,000 a month isn't going to make a living for you. So she came back to us and said, you know, I haven't really paid attention. I've just been riding the breeze. And in 1 year, she went from 3 club to 39 club, making, you know, $70,000, $80,000 a year. So just because if you've been in the business a while and it hasn't worked for you, you can start over and
go to work.
Yeah, right now you can start back over and earn some of these bonuses. Yeah. And if you come in right now as a partner and you do the fast track through every step right up to the 12th step, PMD plus, there's $109,000 in bonuses there.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But we know that. The journey of that 109,000 starts with a very small step to start with, doesn't it?
Yes.
And if I could just recount to what you were saying, you know, getting your story is paramount. And that's really good that we heard from all the ladies tonight, because they've got part of their story already in place. You know, they know somebody, there's a connection there. And until you get your own story, you can actually tell, you know, Katie's story, you can tell about the skin, which we heard about, or Aviva's story, and how, you know, it helped your daughter and things like that. And then really getting that list, making sure that you get all those prospects down. I remember James's story, you know, 77th or 87th on his list or whatever, was the guy that went to National Marketing Director, and he didn't want to even go and phone him up. Those are the ones that are really good. But, you know, it's just those little journey steps and all the rest of it. So there's a couple of questions on the chat line there. There's a couple of people that haven't got the email from the sign-on. What's the procedure there? How do we kind of follow that one through?
Normally in 24 hours. Normally in 24 hours you get the email.
Right.
So it may be backed up now because of the blitz.
They're working from home, a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, a lot of them are working from home now.
Most corporates work from home.
Yeah.
Some
when we
people
try to get on the phone and phone up, there's like 40, 50 minutes.
Right.
Bob was on the phone the other day and waited an hour and finally hung up.
Yeah.
Right. The ones that are in a hassle, if they would send me a text or an email and their contact information, I'll try to help them.
Okay. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So the people on here that are, did everybody understand that? So if you want to send Bob an email direct to him, and he
all right, I'll send one.
Yeah. Do you want to share your? Oh, we'll put it in the group chat that we've got.
Okay.
We'll share that email address with you all so that you've got that.
And the same for you, Simone, because I think yeah.
I did get through to the office in the end, and they said that there's a delay maybe of 3 or 4 days to get people signed up because it's been such a popular uptake. But apparently it's not just the form that we have to do. The person has to fill in somewhere on the, I think it's actually in the virtual office, because there is a button that they can tick to say that the fee has been waived. and that in conjunction with the form that we filled in should do it, but I'm not quite sure where that form is. So I've emailed come join us, I think it's comejoinus.us@juiceplus.com,
Okay.
and then people dealing with it.
Yeah,
Well,
great.
I had a few, I had a couple people who signed someone in and paid the fee and then clicked that and were told that they would be reimbursed their fee.
That's right. Yeah, I've been told that as well.
Yeah, so to get you in faster, this is what I did with the girl yesterday. I said, just pay the fee and see what happens. She said they got it right in on the computer, got it right in, and then you just keep track of when you joined, and your fee will be reimbursed.
But that's now finished, isn't it, Sue? That doesn't apply anymore anyway.
Doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah.
But
My
if they
sister
did-
just joined the call, actually, so I'm really glad. Hi, Martha. And so she's one of the people that was affected by this, but I have already submitted the form for her. So I
It's
think
your
if she
sister,
went
Martha.
ahead and paid, then yeah.
Welcome.
Then I
Can I just ask something, Gordon?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a couple of people on the call who the issue is that they joined on the 14th, so in plenty of time, but hoping to sign their new partner on the 15th. And because they didn't get the email through with the VO, they haven't been able to take advantage of the Come Join Us blitz for their additional person.
Did they sign them up and the paperwork is just in limbo?
Exactly.
Okay, but I think that they will that they will credit that. It just may take some time.
So should Aviva email Bob with the details so that he can maybe take it up with the head office?
And your contact is in America?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Marlis.
Oh, okay. I like Marlis's name. I'm
Okay.
Linda Sue from Mississippi. That's a very common name.
So maybe after the call, if you can put that in the chat, and then we can convey that through, because Sue, we've put this group together on Messenger, which is called the American Sponsorship. So all the information will be in there, but I'll kind of contact you directly with the information as well.
You can put my information on too. You can put my email, and Gordon, you know who Carrie and Mickey Daigle are, right? You
Yeah.
met them, from New Orleans.
Yeah.
He's doing a series of calls right now, Zoom calls, and
Yeah.
he had one on yesterday. He's having different national marketing directors on and share their stories. And yesterday he had Roberti on, and it was really, really good. Roberti was spot on. He was excellent. So if you want to get, I'll try to find the recording of that.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and I'll link us in with them.
And he uses Facebook Messenger too. If you will friend him on Facebook, and then you'll get into everything that he has. Because he doesn't keep anything private. He shares everything he does with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Sue. And maybe if you do find the recording, Sue, perhaps you can add that into Aquila, into the team group page on Facebook. That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, James, anything you want to add to this? Unmute yourself.
Is he still there?
Can you hear me?
Well, can now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. All right. So I was sponsored directly into the UK from the US by Sue Bob. So, hello there.
James, excuse me 1 second. This is Trevor, 13-time state wrestling champ. He started on Juice Plus 9 months before he was born.
One of our handsome grandchildren, they're home from school, so they're working on the farm.
Good. Slave labor, that's what I like.
Slave labor, I'm telling you.
No, I pay.
Nice to meet you, Trevor.
Bye.
Sorry, James.
No worries. So I just want to encourage you that I was sponsored directly from the US with no upline in the UK. So, for some people might think, oh my goodness, I've been sponsored such a long way away. Here I am, and I've got to sort of work this out for myself. And I've got to tell you, everyone, that it's the best possible thing that could happen to you. Because what happened to me was that it made me have to become massively resourceful. about, and I had to plan for my own success. I had to work this out myself. I had to determine that I was successful because there was no one else. There were Bob and Sue, okay, and they were amazing, but they were miles and miles and miles away.
Yes, and it cost a fortune to call the UK at the time.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, the sponsor that I did have was slightly challenging. I'll say that. You know, if I may just say, we had a meeting once in Bath in the UK where he got hopelessly drunk. And he was leaning against the wall saying goodbye to everyone as they were going out the door. And
I think I may have done that a couple times to you too, James.
Well, that's right. And at that time we were in the water business. And as someone left, someone said to him, I'd stick more to the water next time if I was you. So this was absolutely mortifying. Here I was, but anyway, he left the UK then and I was on my own. So very, very quickly, I just want to say that you're going to be fine on your own. It's just going to make you massively resourceful. We're here to help you, obviously. Of course, now you've got Zoom calls and video calls like we never had before. Everything's online. It's so much easier. But don't worry about the fact that you might feel you're thousands of miles away because there's lots of support, but though it's going to make you a lot more resourceful in yourself.
So James, just quickly before you disappear, what would be your advice for people to get started if you were to do that now as opposed to 30 odd years previously?
Well, I mean, I would say that the best thing that you can do is to find a business buddy. Find someone that you really want to work with and team up with them. And that's what I did. That was my real secret. I was struggling for the first year really on my own. You know, I was making money. I got up to sales coordinator, you know, I had a business, I was making money, but I was slightly struggling. But when I found a business buddy to work with me and we teamed up together, that's what made all the difference. So I would suggest that you would make a big list of all the people that you know and think of someone on that list that you would really want to team up with and just say, look, I've got this business, there's too much potential for me alone. I know you've been very successful before. Come on, let's team up, let's do this, and we can make a fortune together. And together, 1 and 1 is 3. Or, you know, I found 1 and 1 was about 1,000. But, you know, that's the way I would go.
Excellent. Okay, Doug.
How soon did we come over, James, after you were sponsored?
Again?
How soon did we come to the UK after you were sponsored?
You came pretty quickly early on.
I was excited to travel.
Yeah, you came. I mean, it was incredible, really. I mean, you came within about 6 months, probably, and you came all the way down to Bath. I think you were at that event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you came down, and there were about 25 people in that room. What's amazing is that I just rang a school friend. I said, look, I've got this fantastic business. I've got these friends, you know, coming from the US. Get a group of people together. And he got about 25 people together. And there we were in the room. And from that one event, that then led to a national marketing director that developed in Berlin. So it's incredible how this can work. You'd never imagine how networking one person to another suddenly leads you to another country, you know, a couple of thousand miles away.
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, we're coming to kind of fairly close to the end of the call. I'm just going to wrap. Any questions from anybody that would like to, you know, just ask you, Katie? Yeah.
So am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
I've just got a quick question. I'm not sure if anyone knows the answer. The form that I filled in yesterday for me and Susan, it looked like that there's going to be a group set up, a Facebook group for everyone that's taken part in this incentive. Is that right?
Is that from the home office?
It was on the virtual office, and we had to fill in the sponsor form, and I had to give my Facebook link and Susan's Facebook link, whoever I was sponsoring, and I'm presuming we're going to be put into a group, so everyone's kind of doing it together.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. I was just presuming. I didn't know if anyone knew.
I can find out, though, Katie. I can find out from the UK because there's a lot of people being sponsored in the UK, you know, over in America. So I'll find out from that question.
Okay. Great, thank you.
I saw that as well, Katie. I was wondering the same thing. And it said that there was a link from the virtual office when you're on the American page, but I couldn't actually find it. So I just didn't know if I hadn't been through it all properly. But there is going to be one separate, apparently.
And are you in the US as well? Simone, are you in the US or are you in the UK?
No, I'm in Wales.
Oh, okay. With James Knight.
That's right. He's about 20 miles up the road.
Well,
oh, hi, Sue.
I didn't know you were there.
She's in the same village. She's across the way from me.
You've actually got the team colours on, haven't you?
Yeah.
We have today.
What I can say is the sooner you get your story down, the more comfortable you'll be talking to people. Because the worst part of it is picking up the phone or starting an email or starting a text and not really knowing what to say.
Yeah.
So when you get your short story down, you'll just spit it right out. And you have to share it often. You have to put it on paper and practice it. I have a friend who couldn't practice her story with no one there, so she would get her daughter's stuffed animals and put them on the couch and share her story with the stuffed animals. She had to have some babies looking at it. Whatever it takes, get your story down, get it short, get it compelling, and then share it often. And don't have high expectations. Just keep sharing your story. Your job is to share your story. If you share your story 2 times a day, 5 days a week, that's 10 a week or 40 a month. From that kind of activity, you should be able to get 5 customers and 1 team member a month. And if you get 5 customers and 1 team, if you get 5 team members and 1 customer a month, you'll be doing okay too. But if you did get 5 customers and 1 team member a month, at the end of a year, you will have 60 customers and you'll have 12 team members. From your 60 customers, you should have 6 more team members. So that's 18 team members and 60 customers in 1 year, in a perfect world, getting 5 customers and 1 team member a month. So they're not all gonna stay, but they're not all gonna leave. So let's say 1 in 3 stays. You'll have 20 customers and you'll have 6 team members. But starting very early on with that first team member that you signed up, they're gonna start doing the same thing. So that compounded effect, second month you've got someone with you, second month you've got 2 people with you. And so everybody's efforts doing the same thing. We really all do the same thing over and over and over. We just put our own personalities into it, but it's the consistency of the basics over and over and over. And you can throw in a special play now and again, well, I guess we won't be having any trade shows or anything like that, but adding social media. But at the end put a 3 to 5 year game plan together. That's what we were told. 3 to 5 years, pedal to the metal, work as hard in 5 years on this as you would 40 years for someone else, and you can retire a millionaire. But then what will happen is with your team members and everybody focused on 5 and 1, you will create the structure and the volume to go right straight to PMD. I'm not saying that you're going to do all the fast tracking and get all the 100,000, but unless you really, really, put the pedal to the metal, stay focused. But that's the prize. And you need to set yourself a goal. 1 year from today, what do I want my Juice Plus check to be? And work towards that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, fantastic. That's really, really good. Okay. Well, listen, I think, I was always remember that the advice I was given that, our job description is about sharing the business, sharing the product, attending events. And I think, these are events that we can attend all the time. And in fact, Sue, you were saying that there's not going to be any trade shows, but we're actually having our meeting at Silverstone online on the 2nd of May. And there's going to be more than 1,000+ people on the call. So we'll send you all the information on that. And they're actually going to have it with like kind of different speakers and all sorts of things. And the conference, it's a conference that will be taking place, as I said, on the 2nd of May. So it's going to be very exciting. And I think we'll see a new way of actually doing business. And,
we're going to have our conference in March was canceled.
Yeah, ours is as well. In May.
And so they're going to do that online.
Online.
They're going to be streaming it, and they're going to let us know, hopefully, April 23rd and 24th.
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, half a day Saturday, that weekend.
So next Saturday, next week.
Yes, I was told at the beginning that we're not in the business of convincing people. The only thing we convince people to do is look, because I looked at the product and I wouldn't look at the business. So when my friend called me and said, your negative attitude could possibly jeopardize the financial future of your children, I kind of laughed, but I thought, you know, I've looked at everything else. I've done so many things. I may as well go look at this. It'll get them off my back anyway. But he was right. All they did was convince me to look. Take a look. Take a look. That's all we want. We don't convince anybody to buy, sell, or join. Just get them to look.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what you want your store to do. Just get people to take a look at what we have.
Yeah.
And the ones who love it will join you. And then and when you do that, you won't be dragging people into it all the time. You don't want to be dragging people. It's like when you're excited about a party or excited about something, you know, you want excited people around you. You don't want Debbie Downers around you saying, well, what about this? What about that? What if we win?
So would you be kind enough to add the details for the conference, for the US conference into Aquila as well, please?
Yes.
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Okay, we got no Debbie Downers. That's a new one on me. I think the one thing that is very important, and we do have that within our group, is about having a bit of fun. You know, if you do things with a light heart, if you actually go out there with a smile on your face, it's amazing. People smile back at you. And there's a lot of gloom and despondency out there. So being excited, have a smile on your face, you'll be amazing that'll light up the world. So listen, before we all go, let's get our cameras out and we'll have a picture. Can we put on, Martha, could you put on your camera so that we can see you? Please, if she's there. She's probably gone off to make the, oh, there she is, okay. Well done. So we'll get our cameras and we'll all, after 3, 1, 2, 3, we'll all say hi. 1, 2, 3, hey.
Hey.
One more. 1, 2, 3, yay. Listen, Sue, thank you very much, and Bob, for your time, and thank you to everybody that's on the call today. We're going to add you into our groups in terms of Aquila, etc. Katie, Viva, if you make sure that that's done, and Simone for your guests for this, you know, your sponsoring in America. And any questions, Martha, Marlis, and Susan, that you have after this call, just don't feel afraid. Just reach out, and we'll help you as much as we can.
And can I make one request?
Post the video in the group.
When you send an email or any conversation, make sure you tell us that we were on this call and that you're with Gordon's team, because some people will just assume that we know who everybody is.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point. All right, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care, lovely to see you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.